But in my own case, I was having a cesarean section. I had 3 cesarean sections and 4 kids. Like, I never had a vaginal birth. And I remember someone telling me, what if you come back in your next life and you don't have a womb? Like, seriously, I am alive now. I'm thinking about my next life. If I come back again in my next life, the doctors will sort me out. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about tubal ligation. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Adama and you are highly welcome to my channel. Tubal ligation, like, basically means getting your tubes tied, okay? Like your reproductive tubes tied. Okay guys, so it just seems as if all the Facebook groups that I am in, what is being discussed there in the past 1 week is women trying to find out how or what it feels like when you get your tubes tied, or what can happen, whether people die from it and stuff like that. So, you know, there has been like discussions going back and forth and people are scared. Other people are saying, oh, don't do it, this one, that one. I heard that this happened to this person. I heard that this person did this one. Like, so many things going on there. So I decided to use this platform to like share my own experience with tubal ligation. When I say my own experience, that means I got my tubes tied, okay? I got my tubes tied 3 years ago. No, not 3 years. It will be 3 years in April, because that was when I had my last baby, like 3 years in April. Tubal ligation is a procedure that is done to permanently prevent pregnancy. And this is a very simple surgery also that could be done at any time. At least so my doctor told me. She told me that it could be done at any time, but because I was pregnant with my last baby and I was also going to have a cesarean section, you know, she told me that it was better. She told me that it was better, since I wanted to do it anyway, it's better we do it during the cesarean section so that I would not have to do it again. But it does not mean that if you're having like a vaginal birth that you are not going to be able to have tubal ligation. No, that's not true. So if you're not doing it during a cesarean section, it is still a very simple surgery whereby you could walk in the same day and walk out like strong. People are usually like asking whether it is painful or whether it's this or that, or whether the person is going to bleed so much or something like that. My doctor also told me then that if I didn't want to do it during my cesarean section, like if I was still trying to make up my mind or something like that, that when I have to come back to do it, then that a little hole will be made on my stomach and then stuff inserted there to use to tie the tube. And there are usually different ways, of course, of tying these tubes. When they say they are going to tie the tubes, it doesn't really mean that like they are going to tie it or whatever. There are different ways. Like mine was cut and a laser light used to seal it. So mine was cut and sealed. So there are also people who tie theirs, but the doctor told me that when it is tied, usually that after some time it could like come off and you'll be surprised, okay, with pregnancy. She wanted to do something for me that she was very sure of. She said the one she did for me is like 98 to 99.9% that I'm not going to get pregnant like ever again, except through IVF, which, you know, is a long process, especially for someone like me who has already 4 kids. Like going through an IVF is not something I would want to go through maybe in the future, having more kids. Like, I don't even have it at the back of my mind to have more kids right now. But if peradventure I change my mind at 60 or 70 years of age, then I'll have to go for an IVF. Don't mind me guys, I'm just joking. I don't have it in mind to have more kids in the future. So if you're out there and you know you don't want to have kids in the future, and you and your partner or you and your husband are very active and you are like tired of taking pills, like I was totally tired of taking pills, because my last pregnancy even occurred as a result of me missing 1 day of my pill and like taking it the next day. Okay, I took it the next day. I started, you know, like taking it normally without even knowing that I was pregnant. Even when I started getting the signs, I was like doubting myself, like, no, this is not happening. Like, you know, I was just binding and casting everything, because already as at that time 3 kids were already enough for us. But guess what, we had the 4th one. So like my doctor explained to me, she said like there are, of course, but there are different ways like to tie your tubes, you know, which include the one I did, which was just cutting and sealing my tubes, which means my tubes are far from each other like this. Now they are not able to join. But if it's for someone who is around 20 years of age or so or thereabout that got their tubes tied, it's possible for it to also begin to grow back and somehow get intertwined, and, you know, pregnancy occurs which she told me happens like 1 in a million, okay, but it sure does happen, but it happens mostly to people who are younger, okay, like 20 years, 20 from, let me say, 20 to 25 or thereabout. According to what my doctor said, after tubal ligation, you are meant to like start your normal activities like almost immediately. Like I said before, you're not sick, nothing is wrong with you, and you won't even feel the surgery that you had because it's just a minor surgery. But in my own case, I was having a cesarean section. I had 3 cesarean sections and 4 kids. Like, I never had a vaginal birth, so 3 cesarean sections, 4 children, and I was just done with the whole thing. So when I was having my last cesarean section, that was when my tubes were tied, and then I had to like recover as I was recovering from the cesarean section. So it doesn't like really mean that the surgery is as painful as the cesarean section. It was actually the cesarean section that I had that I was recovering from. Let me say, the only things I noticed which are side effects would be that at that time of the month when I'm supposed to like ovulate or when I'm supposed to like have my periods, I noticed that I would have like a tingling painful sensation around my tubes, like around my tummy area, those 2 places around the navel area. I'll have like teeny weeny tingling sensation of pain, okay, around that place, but it's not really something bad. It's just like you having a little bit of cramp. And yes, talking about cramps also, I was someone who grew up having very bad menstrual cramps, okay. So as soon as I had my first pregnancy and put to bed also through cesarean section, I didn't even notice anything cramp. When my period was coming, I didn't notice the cramp anymore. Like, it was just gone like this, okay. So but after tubal ligation, I noticed that I started cramping again, but definitely not as bad as before. So now when my period is coming, I usually have like pangs of cramp, which I didn't used to have before, since after my first pregnancy and birth. And then another thing that I noticed which bothered me like in the first few months, or let me say the first year, because it wasn't something I was used to, was heavy bleeding. I had my first period at around 10 or 11 years. I never had heavy periods. There was never a day that I would have to, you know, like be worried about heavy periods. But after tubal ligation till now that I'm talking to you face to face, I noticed that my periods are heavier. But that's not also something that is out of the way. That is something also like anyone can manage. And some people's periods are already like that, like right from time, so it won't be like any problem for those people. But for me, it was kind of a concern for me in the first year, like I said, but now it is something I have gotten used to. Like, of course, I now have heavy periods, okay, so that's just it. And apart from heavy periods, I have longer period days. Like, if I was having like a 5-day like monthly blood flow, I now have like 7 or 8 days sometimes, okay. So this is also something that is like it's not that it's disturbing me or something. There's nothing there except like stuffing in a tampon there, or maybe when I'm at home. I don't like using sanitary pads these days anyway. I use tampons like 90% of the time, so it's just me stuffing tampon there and like changing it every 2 or 3 hours as the case may be. The problem with that is that it disturbs our intimacy, like my intimacy with my husband, because when he starts counting and he counts up to 5, he'll be like, okay, so this is finished now, so can we have an understanding partner? And you know, you can just figure out how you can do it, okay. Like, that one is nothing. Of course, for people who do not mind doing it when they have their flow, well, somebody like me, I could also do it, but not when it's flowing so much. I think that's just basically about all. Like, there is nothing extra, there is nothing way out of this world. It's nothing like to hit your head all over the place for. It's nothing to like give so much of a thought. If you have checked it and you say, okay, gosh, I have 4 children, I have 3 children, I have 5 children, I can't do this anymore. Like, for me personally, this is the best thing you can do, because like, you don't have to worry about pills and hormones. Some of those pills could also cause cysts growth, could also cause growth in your body, like cysts and a lot of other things especially if they are hormonal. Of course, you don't have to worry about pills if you have tubal ligation or if you have your tubes tied, because like seriously guys, it's just like living in another world. Like, you're not thinking of pregnancy. But if somehow you do it and pregnancy occurs, know that God loves you. Like, you are getting another bundle of joy. But well, it hasn't happened to me in 3 years, and I hope like another one doesn't come. So guys, I've actually come to the end of this video. I hope you actually picked something from here. It's something you want to do, just go ahead, do what you want to do. You don't even have to tell anyone. Just talk to your spouse and your doctor, and don't get it twisted, don't get yourself confused. Especially as Africans, if you tell your relatives this, they're going to be saying some kind of weird things. And I remember someone telling me, what if you come back in your next life and you don't have a womb? Like seriously, I am alive now, I'm thinking about my next life. If I come back again in my next life, the doctors will sort me out, okay? Science will sort me out, if that is even something that is real, okay? So guys, I'll definitely see you in my next video. I hope you subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you again. Bye.